You think your service means something here? The biker's voice dripped with arrogance as he towered over the elderly man at the bar. Before anyone could react, his leather-gloved hand cracked across the veteran's cheek with a sound that froze the entire room. Before we move further into this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. Let's dive in. The slap echoed louder than the jukebox. Beer mugs stopped halfway to lips. Darts dropped from hands. Even the pool balls seemed to rest silently on the felt. For a heartbeat, no one moved. No one breathed. The veteran didn't lash back. He didn't even flinch. He straightened his shoulders, steady as stone, and kept his gaze on the counter in front of him. He had endured worse, in jungles, deserts, and mountains, in places this biker had only seen in movies. But his stillness carried a weight heavier than any punch could deliver. The biker smirked, puffing out his chest as his crew behind him laughed, the sound loud and cruel. "What? No fight left in you, old man? Guess medals don't make you tough." His words slithered across the silent bar, and a nervous waitress whispered to no one in particular, "He's a veteran." The old soldier finally lifted his glass, his hand steady as granite. His voice, low but unshakable, carried across the room. "Son, you just made a mistake you won't understand until it's too late." The biker laughed. "What are you going to do, call your war buddies?" He spread his arms mockingly. "They're not here now." But the veteran only took another sip, calm, quiet, unbothered. And yet the bar's atmosphere shifted. You could feel it, like the hush before a storm. Minutes passed. The biker tried to carry on, throwing loud jokes, bullying the bartender, bragging to his crew. Some patrons slipped quietly out the door, but others stayed, their eyes glued to the old soldier who hadn't budged. Every tick of the clock on the wall made the tension heavier. Exactly 22 minutes later, the door creaked open. Bootsteps echoed against the worn wood floor. One man entered, then another, then three more. Within moments, nearly a dozen figures filled the bar. Men and women of all ages, some wearing leather jackets, others jeans and plain shirts. But every one of them carried the same presence. Broad shoulders, straight posture, eyes sharp as steel. They didn't need uniforms. Their bearing announced exactly who they were. Veterans. The biker's smirk faltered. His crew shifted uneasily, their earlier laughter dying in their throats. The veterans fanned out, surrounding the old soldier at the bar. One of them, a tall man with grey at his temples, placed a firm hand on the veteran's shoulder. "We heard what happened," he said, his voice low but heavy with meaning. The old soldier nodded once, still calm, still silent. The grey-haired veteran turned to face the biker. His voice wasn't loud, but it was enough to silence every whisper. "You slapped a man who carried this country on his back. You think that makes you strong? Look around, boy. You're standing in the very freedom men like him bled for." The biker tried to scoff, but his voice cracked. His own crew glanced away, refusing to meet his eyes. The veterans didn't raise fists. They didn't need to. Their presence alone crushed him. The tall veteran stepped closer, so close the biker could see the scars etched into his face. "We won't fight you. Not because we can't, but because we don't waste strength on ignorance. You will walk out that door, and you'll remember this night every time you see an old soldier's face." The biker swallowed hard. He looked around, but no one, not even his own gang, stood with him. His arrogance drained away, replaced with something he hadn't felt in years: fear. Finally, he muttered a curse, turned on his heel, and shoved his way toward the door. His crew followed quickly, engines growling outside as they fled into the night. For the first time since the slap, the old soldier set his glass down. He rose slowly, every inch of his frame carrying dignity. He turned to face the biker just before he left, his voice sharp and cutting through the silence. "I fought so kids like you could grow up free. Don't you ever mistake that for weakness." The biker's eyes dropped. He couldn't hold the gaze. Then he was gone. When the rumble of motorcycles faded into the distance, the bar remained silent for a long moment. Then, as if on cue, the room erupted into applause. Patrons clapped, some whistled, some wiped tears from their eyes. The young waitress stepped forward, her voice trembling. "Thank you for your service." The old soldier gave a faint smile and adjusted the faded cap on his head. "Don't thank me," he said softly. Thank the ones who never made it home. His words hushed the applause, replacing it with reverence. People bowed their heads. A few veterans in the room saluted quietly. The jukebox finally started again, a slow country song drifting into the air. People returned to their drinks, but the energy in the bar had changed forever. Every single person there knew they had witnessed something sacred, honor standing unshaken against arrogance. And as for the biker, his name carried no fear after that night, only shame. But the veteran, he carried on exactly as before, calm, dignified, and unbreakable. A living reminder that true strength has nothing to prove. Strength isn't measured in fists or fear. It's measured in dignity, in endurance, and in the respect owed to those who sacrificed more than we can ever repay. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a karma in the comments below.